is it?
It's Kurt. Hi. Hi. I won't stay long. Wow, that is some moon out there, huh?
Yeah, I know.
You don't have to say anything at all right now, Eden. Just don't stop me, all right? I love you. I've said that, I know, but I like hearing myself say it now. It's been such a long time that I've wanted to. And I have a feeling it's always going to be that way with me. What I want, what I'm asking, no, not asking, just hoping, is that you'll always want to be with me too, in whatever way. Because the one thing I do know for sure about the future, Eden, is that I want you there. It's all right. It isn't a question I'm asking you. You don't love me, but you feel something for me. I don't expect you to feel the same thing. What I feel is pretty astounding all by itself.
Decision of her life.
I want you to marry me.
Will she marry a man she doesn't love? Santa Barbara this week.
Good morning. My name is Mother Isabel.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Mother, but if you're soliciting donations, may I ask that you come back at a more civilized hour?
You must be Mason Capwell.
I don't believe we've met.
We haven't, but I've heard Mary mention your name.
Why don't you come in? May I ask in what context?
Oh, just in passing. We're good friends from the convent.
I see.
Is she here?
No. I'm afraid you're out of luck. She left the house at the crack of dawn this morning. I have no idea when she'll be back, if ever.
Well, she said she was caring for a patient here.
Oh, that's encouraging. I was afraid she'd forgotten her responsibilities to this family altogether.
Do I detect a note of anger in your voice?
You're very perceptive.
Oh, you're very obvious. But I know Mary like a daughter, and I don't believe she'd shirk her duty.
Well, I don't want to disillusion you, Mother, but I think you'll find that Mary has changed quite a bit since her days of innocence at the convent.
What are you implying?
Only that if you have a notion of luring her back, you're in for quite a shock. I think you'll find that Mary is enjoying her newfound freedom. In fact, she's making the most of it.
Oh, what was that for?
That's for yesterday. For being such a good friend.
Well, now, if I could just help you find your wife.
I already have one private detective on the payroll. I don't think I can afford another one. Besides, I think you already have enough problems to contend with.
What are you talking about?
Mary, I think this friendship business should be a two-way street, right? Well, you were a big help to me yesterday. So why don't I return the favor?
Mark, I'm just so confused.
About what?
It's not a what, it's a who. Someone that I care about very much and that I thought cared about me. And suddenly I'm not sure if I ever really knew him. You lose something, Mr. Cranston?
Yeah. My black dress shoes. What did you do with them?
Oh, I haven't seen them.
Well, what'd they do? Just get up and walk out of here on their own?
When was the last time you wore them?
A couple of nights at the Capwell party.
Must have been some party.
What would anybody want with my shoes?
Portal, open up! Get out your butt and open the door
Not entirely.
Well, then I feel very sorry for you.
Don't do me any favors, Sophia.
All right, I won't. If you want to be miserable, go somewhere else and be miserable, because I really hate this.
Well, that is some consolation.
I don't understand you at all. You have a wonderful family. You have a husband that loves you very much, and you're pushing him away with all your anger and your accusations.
Look who's talking. You have alienated the entire Capwell household. No one wants to have anything to do with you. I wish my husband felt the same.
You just please leave.
Get a pet, Sophia. A parakeet, a boa constrictor, a giraffe, a guppy. But leave my husband alone. Do we understand each other? I'm here.
Well, how are you doing? Why don't you have a seat?
I hope this doesn't take too long.
Well, I'm doing just fine, Julia. Thank you. And how are you doing this morning?
I'm warning you, Kirk, I'm in no mood.
Well, pardon me for trying to be polite.
Don't strain yourself on my account. I understand you have some papers for me?
Yes, these are the contracting agreements for the Capwell construction project in Hawaii.
Yes, and?
And I just want you to take a once-over on them before I get Eden to sign them.
You brought me all the way over here to look at these papers. Why don't you send a messenger?
Well, I thought maybe we could have a little bit of breakfast together, Julia. What, don't tell me I'm assuming too much to imagine that we could have sat down and had a civilized conversation in a public place.
I'm sure we could. I'm just not sure it's worth it.
Well, the legal fees that come your way via Capwell Enterprises are worth it, aren't they?
Do you always threaten people to have breakfast with you?
Only you, Julia.
I'm honored. Or something.
Well, don't be. I just don't want to eat alone, that's all.
Well, I saw Cruz when I came in. Why don't you break some bread with him?
No, I don't think bread is what we should be breaking together. Anyway, he's probably much too busy investigating one thing or another. Tell me, how's he doing on the attempted murder?
How should I know? Ask him.
Well, I ask him as little as possible these days.
Well, with Cruz on the case, the truth will come out sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. You have a lot of faith in him.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. He doesn't shuffle the evidence, you know. He has this interesting way of putting himself into the shoes of the suspect. He knows exactly what they're thinking, when they're thinking. Can't evade somebody once they're in your head.
I see. Feminine intuition, or what are you talking about, ESP?
I'm telling you that he will find out who tried to murder Cece.
Well, I didn't realize he had a fan club. Although you sound more like a groupie, Julia.
We're good friends. And while we're on the subject, Eden is also a good friend of mine, and whatever you're thinking, forget it.
I'm sure I know what you're referring to.
I'm sure you do. If there's anything in that brain of yours that's thinking of moving in while they're having this moment of difficulty, you're in for a rude disappointment. Nothing will break them up. They're in love more than any two people I've ever known.
But they're just not seeing each other anymore, is that it?
Not at the moment, but I'm sure that won't be for very long.
Well, I think you're horribly misinformed. Well, good morning, Inspector.
Kirk, Counselor, you know, I think it's time you and I had a little chat.
Well, I don't think we're able to right now, Cruz. You see, Julia and I are just about to have breakfast.
No problem. No problem. We'll take a rain check, huh? Or I will, whatever.
Julia, you're going to stay.
I am. Oh, well, listen, we didn't even order yet, so there's no problem. Don't let me interrupt you.
Thanks.
Well, actually, you know, I must be running. The fact is, I've got a meeting. But, Julia, please, why don't you stay and keep the inspector company?
No, wait a second, pal. This can't wait.
I'm afraid I can't oblige you, Cruz. You see, I have a meeting in 15 minutes.
Well, when will this meeting be over?
Whenever it's over, I have no way of knowing.
It's not going to go on all day, is it?
Would you mind telling me what's so important, Cruz? All right, I'll tell you what. I will meet you back here at 12:30. Is that convenient?
I'll be here, Kirk. Enjoy yourself.
Okay. Just a once-over, Julie.
Oh, you bet. How's the investigation coming?
Oh, I'm plugging away.
You look exhausted.
I guess so.
Have you ever tried counting sheep?
You know, I have tried that, but they have this habit of transforming themselves into suspects, and before you know it, my brain's in overdrive again.
You know I'll do anything to help, don't you?